This is Level Up Success Podcast with Neff and Truth.
Hey, how you doing, friends and family? This is the Level Up
Success Podcast.
and welcome to another episode where we always bring knowledge and power to our listeners. So tell me now, how we gonna start this now?
How you guys doing today, man? There's an exciting day for us, because the person that we have that we're gonna interview today is somebody who I've been following, and I've seen his growth within the network that in which I was following him. So, very exciting to hear his background and all the things that he's doing right now to to progress, because we out here to level up. And
Yeah, leveling up the mind. It's all about leveling up the mind and showing that another way to level up.
yeah. So before we get into that, why don't you give us your name and your background? Why don't you do that first?
Sure. Thank you guys for having me on your podcast. So my name is Tahir. I was born in Toronto. Then my parents decided to go to Saudi, then to Egypt. My parents are Egyptian. My grandma is half Palestinian, half Lebanese. Then after living in Egypt for 12 years, then I came back for school, came back to Canada, and I'm done with school, and now I'm working. Yeah.
Awesome. So so what is it that you do? For the
So
audience.
right, yeah. So I work as a software engineer, and for my audience, I post like tech tips. So everything has to do with like digital, tips and digital content. So like useful websites, useful apps, useful Chrome extension, content creation tips, tech news in general. What else? Yeah, and just like PC tips, and like on top of that will be like motivational and just like trying to be the best version of myself, and I'm also trying to level up everybody, as you guys said in the beginning. It's all about
Yes,
progress and just like being the best version of yourself. And yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
definitely. So what got you into software engineer? Like, why did you chose this field? Yeah.
that's actually a good question. So I was never the computer guy, and I remember in grade 12, I took my first. This was like the first time that I actually took a computer course that I would have to focus because uh, uh, like I had to pass the exam. So I still remember
Okay.
this day when
Fair reason.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I still remember this day when the teacher said you would find this folder on the desktop, and then I literally bent down to my friend and I whispered to him. I was like, "What's the desktop?" And I'm being damn serious. I was that bad. Like I was never the computer guy. So what's funny is that my friend didn't know what's the desktop. So I raised my hand. I was like, my friend doesn't know what's the desktop. And then everybody laughed on him, and then he basically told us what's the desktop. So what made me enter software engineering? The first, and I joined the university as a civil engineer, not as a software engineering. And then I hated coding. Like I felt this is not me. I don't belong to this whole field. And then by the end of the year, I was like, why not to take this risk and just see what would happen and just completely get out of your comfort zone and do something that you know nothing about, and like let's see if you would actually be able to succeed in it or not. And like if I was like, what's the worst case scenario? I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna fail. Fine. I can get back to like civil engineering. But let me tell you that this was one of the best decisions that I've ever made, and I'm super, super, super proud of myself that I've actually decided to proceed this career, knowing nothing about it, being literally the worst tech guy ever, knowing nothing about it. And throughout the university, I've worked in such big companies. And yeah, man, super proud of that. And for anyone who's like afraid to become a software engineer or like afraid to, you know, try to get in any new field, just go learn and like adapt and just always learning and surround yourself with people who would actually help you, because this was a major reason of why I made it. Because like me and my friends, we were helping each other in the school, and yeah. So for anyone who want to become a software engineer, just go and do it. It's the future, and it's very almost like every company needs a developer. Like literally everything needs a developer. So you gotta
Oh,
do
I
it.
got a question. You said that you took a chance. Did somebody recommend you to do that, or do you know somebody in the software engineer, or you just wanted to try something new?
Such a good question, my friend. I don't think anyone told me to go into software engineering. Well, both of my brothers are aerospace engineers, so I wanted to become an aerospace engineer just because
Yeah.
they were telling me that it's very hard, and I wanted to take this challenge. But then I was like, what's the point of doing that, right? Why not you actually proceed something you know nothing about, and would also prove to yourself that you can go get into a space that you know nothing about and you can succeed. And this is the future, right? So yeah, what made me get into this program, I would say, if I'm completely honest, just my curiosity, knowing would I be able to do it or not. I was very curious to know what would happen 5 years from now if I put in so much time and effort. What would happen? And this is also the main reason, one of the main reasons that I started my social media journey. I was like very curious to know if I kept posting educational content, would I be able to grow, or or like those who grow on social media would only dance and like would only be entertainers. Like, is there a room for educational content? So yeah, this is basically the truth,
I
pure
mean, that's a
curiosity.
good. No, that's great because, like you say, I got people who use social media for dancing, music. I mean,
Yeah,
I do music. I'm other instrument, but not too many people doing educational, and that's good. You gotta feel. There's some not too many people doing that field, so that's a good advantage. And like my
but
cousin said, that I see you grow in the past few months, and
yeah,
and all your contents are good. They're helpful, so that's a great motivational content you
Yeah,
have.
I think it's amazing, man, that like you decided to challenge yourself to
right,
actually do something that you feel uncomfortable with. Like, and that's the issue that we're having in our society. A lot of people don't want to get uncomfortable. You want to get
right,
comfortable in an uncomfortable place, so because that's where you grow.
right.
That's where you grow as a person, when you're doing something that's out of your comfort zone. Like for instance, like even like me starting this podcast was something uncomfortable for me, because like a lot of things go to mind. It's like, what if I make it? Now I'm like known. Like, how am I gonna take that pressure in? So these are things that I thought about in the beginning, but I'm just like, what? Just go forth, do something new, do something uncomfortable, because that's when you grow. So like
Right.
I admire that, man. So we have that at least in common. So
One
that's
thing,
good.
so
Wow.
Let's see if we find other things, right? So
Bring it
one
on.
other important, yeah, one other important thing that you said, like you have to surround yourself with the people that are doing something that's similar to what you want to accomplish. Because
Right.
like if you didn't have that, like, how do you get motivated to want to do something? And it just makes sense as well, because it is the future. It's what's out in the market. So like, yeah, I applaud you for that, man. And
Thank
so,
you.
like, how long have you been doing this now, like the software engineer?
Since 2017, I would say. So 2017 till
2017.
now, around 5.5 years
All right, 5
ish.
years. Okay, 5 years.
Yeah.
That's good, man. So
Maybe.
I mean, so it feels worth it now, right? Like, it feels like you're in a good path.
Yeah, 100%. No, 100%. Just like the fact that because like most people hate computer for a reason.
Yeah.
People hate computers. People hate anything that has to do with technology. People hate to learn any new thing, and that's why
Yeah.
um, like any new technology, not everybody would be comfortable, learning, or like any new social media platform. Not everybody's willing to actually take that risk and keep posting content and like see if this would grow or not. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
like for example, Pinterest. No one talks about Pinterest. No one is interested to share to like post on Pinterest, right? It's very rare when you see people post on Pinterest. But
Yeah.
like it's something that could go could be the next TikTok. You never know, right? And that's why I'm posting on
Exactly.
it. Like that's why I'm posting it. You gotta do what you have to do, not what the society is focusing on. Like
Yes.
I know
Yeah.
a lot of people who'd only post on like Instagram. That's it, because
Exactly.
it's the
Yeah.
thing that would make them look good in front of their friends. But what about
Mm-hmm.
what about TikTok? What about Facebook? What about Pinterest?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, no,
Yeah.
it's true. I mean, I use actually I think I've like you said, Pinterest. I where we saw this um podcast. I started posting everywhere, TikTok, even
Awesome.
Facebook. Some people say, "Well, I'm using Facebook," but you know how it is with these young kids. But yeah, I do Pinterest. I did Twitter. I'm kind of horrible at it. So, but I'm doing a little bit of everything because, like you said, even the new social media, because you never know that might be
Right.
next.
Right.
It's not always good to follow trends.
How old are you now, Tahir?
I guess.
You want me to guess? I mean, I would like to say 25,
All right.
24,
I'm 23.
26.
Oh, okay, so we
Okay,
were
okay.
close.
I was close. I was close. All
23.
right.
23 though.
23. Oh
Oh,
no.
you're
Yeah.
23. Okay, okay,
Oh
okay.
wow.
No,
Okay.
I only
I
asked
know I
because he
look
was saying
older,
the
but
kid. Yeah, yeah. No, he was just saying, these kids from now. I mean, I don't even know if you know our age.
No, no, no. Because I talk about my nephew. That my
Yeah, yeah.
12, my 10-year-old think he know more. My 10-year-old nephew. That's what I'm talking about. This kid, like the 10-year-old, because my 10-year-old nephew, he got his YouTube. He just put cartoon and stuff, but he's doing really good. So because he only do story, his story on YouTube is doing real good. But not, he see mine. He like, I'm doing better than you, Uncle. So
Yeah.
I'm
that's
telling
good,
you, the
man.
kids, they think they know more, but I mean, they do know more, but
Yeah.
you know how it is.
So how long have you been working on like these platforms now? How long are you
Mm.
been trying to like teach all these people all
Yeah.
these contents that you're showing?
Yeah. All right. So I started posting on TikTok. That was the end of January 2022. So this year.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like 2 weeks later, I think it took me like a month to gain 1,000 subscriber. Sorry,
Okay.
1,000 follower. And then
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Let's actually post on Instagram as well. And
Mm-hmm.
then um, and then I started posting on Instagram. And in March, I still remember this day, March 25th, I hit 10K on Instagram. And like TikTok was doing okay. I think I had 15K on TikTok, 15K followers. And then like I was like, damn, that's actually good. Um, at that time, I wasn't posting on anything else other than TikTok and Instagram. And this
Okay.
is this is one of the mistakes that I have made. And that's why I tell people, like try to post on as many platforms as possible. Maybe like in the beginning, maybe stick to like one or two platforms. But once you see something working, just like triple down on it and start posting on all the platforms.
Yeah.
But obviously, obviously when you start something new and you don't get a lot of like like only one of my friends, he's the first guy in our group who started posting content. And when I started on TikTok, I think he had 120K followers or like 110. But then I don't think he wasn't posting on Instagram. Then like my
Okay.
Instagram actually kept like growing rapidly. So at that
Yeah.
time, I think he had like 1K or something, and I had like 15K. So like, like we started motivating each other. Like he was growing on TikTok, I was growing on Instagram, and like from then we've actually just like kept pushing each other. You know what I mean? You need this constant motivation from your friends. At least try to find one of your friends who want to do, or who's doing something, who's doing whatever you want to do, and just like, stay close to him or her, and just like, keep doing it. Because let me tell you that you would need someone uh to just keep that fire under your ass. You know what I mean? Like you need
Yeah,
him
yeah,
or you need her. Like well, a lot of times he motivated me to post videos, even like in the days that you would not, that I didn't create any content, right? I didn't shoot, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Just like
yeah.
looking at his phone, oh, he posted 2 videos. All right, you know what? Let's go and post the video. Like thanks for the motivation, and he would do the same. It's just like it's awesome, man.
I mean, it's easier when you got somebody that's pushing you to do it too. Having the right
Yeah,
type
hundred
of
percent.
people around you will help you do better. Because the same way he's inspiring you, you inspire you. Like you said, you both inspire each other, and that's the best way to do it. That's having the right type of people around you is the best thing to do.
Yeah.
100%,
It's
my friend.
funny. Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that you started growing on by March, because by March is when we started doing
I think it was May though, wasn't it?
yeah. No, but we started entertaining it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at, like, what do I have to do to to grow? So I walked upon your page, so and I see that you're showing things that things that I need to search for, that's to better either is a podcast, or if I want to give out like a free streaming service to somebody, which seem illegal, right? But it's not. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
So like I really appreciate the content that you were showing when I was seeing it, and then I see you grow, because I saw you from 10K, and now you're like at what 200
200. He just did 200 this week.
yeah. So congratulations on that, man.
Congrats on that. Yeah,
So
it's
Thank you,
not that
thank you,
easy to
thank
do
you, guys.
200.
yeah, it's an
Appreciate it.
accomplishment, and it deserves to be rewarded, man, because like for people who are into this platform right now, and that's what we want to do. We want to grow. So like seeing you
Right.
grow, man, it kind of gives us a motivation. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
motivation,
so
inspiration to do the same too.
so yeah, I want to thank you for that, and thank you for joining us as well, man, because it's awesome, man.
My
So
pleasure,
I do
man.
want
Hope you
to,
guys crush it.
yeah, yeah. So I do want to ask you, what is like your end goal? Like, what are you trying to accomplish ultimately? Like, like, is there any ideas you have? Are you trying to build something else? Like, like, what is your purpose? You know what I mean? In other words.
Right. So let me actually tell you why did I start the social media thing.
Yes.
Beside the curiosity, I was very curious to know if I would make it if I kept posting 3 videos every single day for like unknown unknown number of days. I don't know how many days I would have to, keep posting 3 videos a day just to reach to that number. But the second reason, I still remember this day when I shared when I shared one of the websites. I shared the website to my friend and to my brother, and this website would allow you to download free books, right? And it's a legal website, by the way. And like their reaction was very, very, very great for me. And they were like, "Man, I've been looking for this for so long. Thank you so much for sharing this with me." Like their reaction was very just. I would never actually forget the reaction. So in my mind, I was like, what if I can share a video that can reach to like thousands of people, and they would also have the same reaction? What if I can share the knowledge, right? How many people will be looking for this? What if someone want to become a software engineer, but he's afraid and he doesn't know where to start, how to start, what should be the first programming language that they should
Yeah.
focus on? You know what I mean? So if I can just share with them a website that can, help them to download a free introductory programming course, for example, on how they can start, that would mean a lot to me. That can actually change his life. You know what I mean? And on top of that will be like beside that would be the curiosity. But yeah, this was just like, and obviously consistency. And as you said, you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Just put yourself in a
Yes.
very uncomfortable situation. Even like the fact that what you guys are doing right now, literally taking 2 hours of your day consistently, and you guys, you might be in the beginning not seeing results, but as you keep posting, you keep gaining followers. And let me tell you this, and this is like I want every single uh you know small content creator to hear. If you're having 50 followers, this is a lot. Just imagine 50 people sitting in a room in front of you and you talking to them. This is huge. Just
Wow.
because just because
Yeah.
just because just because they are virtual, that doesn't underestimate your power and your
Yes.
influence on them, you know? So like
Yeah.
forget
Yeah.
about the numbers. Just like imagine these people are sitting in front of you. Imagine that you like for anyone who just started, if you're in a class, just imagine you're talking to even like 20 people, 25, 30, 100. That's a lot. Like that's a lot, you know? So yeah. Um so
No,
sorry, I
no,
got a little too.
No.
that's a great
What was your
motivation
question
because
again? Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Sorry, go
no,
ahead.
no, it's awesome. I mean, I don't know, like he when he was expressing all this, I was just thinking about one of our guests that we had, like our first episode.
yeah, I was
His name is
thinking.
Stan. Where like we were talking about, like that we want to motivate people by having conversations with different people, just to see if a viewer will be interested in one of the people that we talking about fields, right? So
Right.
and he said one thing that kind of impacted us, right? Which is like if we help one person, then we have 100% rate, a
1%
success.
out of
Yeah,
1 million
yeah,
person. If we
yeah,
help 1% out of 1 million, we got 100% rate. Because
yeah.
that same person they run for us gonna be helping somebody else, and that person gonna learn, and it's
Yeah,
gonna be like a group or something
exactly.
like
So
that.
that's exactly how he said it. So the way I looked at it right now, the way you said, well, think of it as 50 people in a room. If out of those 50 people, we could help one, that's already a success rate for us.
It's a success story. Yeah,
You know what
it
I mean?
100%.
is.
Yeah. So that's very important, man. And you have 200,000 people now. So you get 1% of them. You know what I mean? Like I mean, you got us. So
Yeah.
thank you for
Appreciate
motivating
that. I
us
appreciate
and
that.
yeah, man. Not definitely,
No,
man.
and yeah. Thank
Means
you
a
for being
lot
a
to me.
guest too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So uh, so now there is something that we do. We ask this question just to have some sort of like accountability, let's just say, right? So where do you see yourself like a year from now, like out of everything that you're doing now, where do you see yourself a year from now? What do you see yourself accomplishing 1 year now? Hmm.
So a year from now, I want to focus more on the community. So there's plans to actually build a community, a Discord community, and it will happen very soon. And focus more on individuals, trying to spread the awareness of how social media is important. And whatever you're doing, even if you don't want to show your face, social media would actually help you so much in a ways that you can never think of. So this is something important, like just sharing more on how social media is important. Uh, Focusing more on the community and like sharing more of how people can actually make money on the internet. And this is something that, but I'm taking time. I know like most creators, once they hit a certain number of followers, they would just like drop a course. They want to make money, ASAP. But for me, I care so much about the community, and I genuinely mean that. And I still remember a couple of days ago, a guy said in one of the comments, I genuinely appreciate how this person replies to every single comment. And keep in mind that video has like 1,000 comments. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
genuinely and the reason that I do care because before starting my social media journey, um, you know, I used to comment on a lot of creators, and none of them would get back to me. And you can actually see that when people hit to a certain number, they would stop replying to comments. They would stop replying
Yeah.
to DMs. They just, like, this is it for me. Now I'm focusing on myself, and like, fuck everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm taking my time. I want to build something good, and I want to drop something really useful and something that people would be proud of like purchasing it, and would definitely help them so much, and would actually help them to like make money online,
Yeah.
and start their social media journey. So yeah.
All right. Awesome, awesome. So, now that before I ask the next question that I usually ask, I just kind of want to ask, so I mean, you do have 200K followers. Are you getting any type of compensation right now for this? It's the question I have.
From Instagram, from
Yeah,
Instagram, you
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
No, like, right. This is actually such a good question because a lot of people
yeah,
before starting their social media journey, they think platforms pay a lot of money to creators, and this is
yeah.
not true. So far, I haven't made a cent from Instagram or from any of these platforms,
Okay,
which is very weird, considering that I have more than 200K followers on Instagram. You know, me 2 years ago, whenever I would see someone who has like 60, 70K followers, I would be like, damn, he must be making a lot of money. But not really, it's not the case. But again, this is important so people know. You gotta understand, like, you really need to know your why. Why do you want to do what you want to do? Why do you want to start your social media journey? What's the point from posting this content, this video,
yeah,
doing this or that? Just understand the why. And for me, the why is like to share knowledge and to
yes,
show people a lot of things that they don't know about. Like to show them
yes,
that if you do this, you'll get this. You know what I mean? So yeah. But no, Instagram is not paying me anything.
yeah,
Um, yeah. I mean, if
yeah,
you
yeah.
if you would ask me, do you want to get paid by Instagram? Of course, but well,
Okay.
I'm just doing my thing. Yeah, I'm just doing my thing, posting content, and
And
yeah,
motivating people, like you said.
Yeah. So I mean, do you
yeah,
know what it would take for Instagram to like reach out? Like what accolades has to be done for Instagram to reach out to actually pay? Have you done like that research?
yeah. So
Okay.
like for Facebook, you actually go and apply to become a content creator to get paid. And then, if I understand correctly, so once you apply for like once you apply on like Meta.com website, they
Metaverse,
changed the name
yeah.
Yeah.
to Meta. Then like when you get accepted, Instagram should push it. Should basically you should get paid by Instagram. But I haven't got accepted
Okay.
from Facebook slash Meta so far.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay, okay. Yeah, no, I mean, and it's good to know because it's like, like you said before, it's like you have to focus on your why. Like, why am I doing this? And if the purpose of you doing it initially is money, then I'm sorry to say, guys, it's just not gonna happen as at least not now at this point in time. At this point in time in our life, and
right,
like me and Truth, like we always consistently talk about our whys. Like, why do we continue doing this? Because as far as right now, we're not getting paid. And like, so we think of it, it's like, do we really want to get paid for it? We do, but it's more like the reason why we eventually want to get paid is because if we could if we could turn this into a our first priority, like income, then like we just gonna help more people because that's what we really really want to do at the end of the day. We're
right.
trying to level up the community, trying to give them positive message. We want to have people start new conversations about how they're going to proceed in life. So it's very important. And like I said, man, I know I keep thanking you, but it's
No,
just
we
awesome.
do, yeah,
Yeah,
because you think you have to do it. Like I would tell
yeah,
to all our guests that
yeah.
come over here. It took their
Uh,
time.
Yeah. So my next
for
question is like,
sure.
where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
5 years from now, such a tough question, my friend. Uh,
Haven't gone that far,
um,
yeah.
I don't think I've thought about it yet. But one thing I know for sure, Um, I know that I'm planning for financial freedom, and I want to be able to make money. Like I want to be able to, like go wherever I want to go without worrying about money. So without worrying about job. But one thing for sure, I know for a fact for me, you know, 9 to 5 is not for me. However, and this is something you need to pay very close attention to. 9 to 5 is essential, and you have to do it because you gotta pay your bills. You know, forget about all these people. Flexing their cars, watches. Start your business. No, 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 no. That's not how you do it, my friend. If you really want to start your business, you have a stable income, 9 to 5, and then after you finish work, you work a couple of hours before you start your shift. You work a couple of hours. These,
Yes,
I
yes,
guarantee you, these 4 to 6 hours. If you kept doing it for a year, you would see the snowball effect. You wouldn't see it in the first month or in the first 90 days, but after like 9 months, a year, you would actually see the results. So
yes, yes.
back to your question, definitely, I don't want to be working 9 to 5, 5 years from now. But right now, I'm just focusing on myself really, really. Like I'm focusing on myself like a bullet, and just like trying to keep my mind like mentally bulletproof, focusing on
Yes, yes.
everything, just trying to be the best version of myself, trying to learn as much as I can. And like this is how I learn. I stick to a certain topic, read as many books as possible on this topic. Like for example, marketing. And after I finish this, I go like copywriting. That's what I've been doing, and it's just like I learned this from one of my favorite entrepreneurs, Patrick David. He
Oh,
actually
yes,
said this.
yes,
Oh, we follow
yes.
him
Yeah,
too.
Patrick. Yeah, man, he's such like he's the guy. He's the guy for sure. I've learned this from him. He said, pick the top 5 or 10 books for sales, marketing, human psychology. Read every single, like focus on one topic, then move on, move on, move on. Just
Yes,
like keep
yeah.
working for 2 years, and like you would see how much growth you would like you would how much growth would happen to you personally and to your
Yes,
mindset.
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because so one thing that we are gonna start doing, which we haven't launched yet, we're gonna start having like short clips, and we're gonna comment on those short clips. We're gonna give our review on this, and one of them is Patrick Bev talking the subject that you just talked about, which there's so many things that you could focus on. Work on one thing at a time. Work
but
focus on one thing at a time. Once you got that settled, now you could work with your next project. Because if we start working on all the things that we could do to make money, then we're just gonna be stagnant. We're gonna be all over the place, we cannot build a structure like that. So it's funny that you mentioned that. Another question I have for you, right? So I know that you give everybody content to watch and where they could learn and like, and they could explore, right? You give people that opportunity. My question to you is: do you use any of those content that you look for?
And coming up in the next week episode.
how would you do it? Up to you, and depends on your business. But you gotta come up with plan for this.
Yeah, you want to take those critiques as well because sometimes you learn from them. Like, okay, thank you for that knowledge. Now I can
Right.
improve on it. You
Don't
know.
take it. Don't take it that you have to. You want to. You
Yeah, and
know.
that's very powerful.
So
Yeah, like